Hi, I'm Carol Reynolds. I go under the moniker of Professor Carol, and I have the honor and the joy of presenting the pre-concert talks for the Dallas Winds. And today I have a joy, a special one, to speak with Maestro Jerry Junkin. And we're going to talk about a concert that is upcoming in terms of being broadcast on the wonderful Dallas classical radio station, Monday, July 27th. There was this wonderful relationship that people read about between Varèse and Frank Zappa. Can you say a word about that?
Yes, as a matter of fact, I was just listening to some Zappa the other day, from the, I don't know why I was going down a wormhole somewhere, and it back into some of the Mothers of Invention performances, and, remembering what an incredible musician he was and how inventive he was actually. And some of his music, he was of course much later than Varèse, but had been influenced by Varèse. So he was also using some electronics, because he had evolved to that point, but also using winds, strings, percussion with this highly rhythmic drive that was going through. Some of the, out of context, some of his titles are maybe not safe for work. So,
Right.
But nonetheless, I would just encourage people to go back and revisit some of the Frank Zappa music. And he was very strongly influenced by Varèse. He knew Varèse. Varèse influenced so many composers. Stockhausen, Boulez, all these, John Cage and Varèse, David Tudor, all these people who they sort of worshipped at the altar of Edgard Varèse. So he influenced, in a way, multiple generations.
Yeah, and unlike Mozart, he stuck around long enough to do that,
Yes, Yes, sadly,
Well,
Mozart wasn't with us longer, but it was a wild ride while he was here.
That's a good way to describe, especially in your hands when you program a concert. I tell you. But tell me one other thing, and again, allegedly with Zappa, they say, more, who knows of the urban legends, but supposedly the first recording he bought was supposed to be what then was still a rarity, Ionisation. And let's face it, that's the one in a music history class. If freshmen only hear one Varèse piece, if people have heard of one, it will be Ionisation. It's a classic for a reason, and you ended with that. So
that was the last Varèse piece, and I thought, and again, there was some thought to that. Where should Ionisation go? Because it's this mega work in Varèse's output, and it's only for percussion. There's piano, but we count piano as a percussion instrument with all the percussion arrayed across the back. And so, that particular piece is so important, not only just as a representation of Varèse, but also for percussionists, because it's one of the first large, purely percussion pieces. Now we would call it a percussion ensemble piece, but in those days, percussion ensembles didn't exist. And so Zappa, I think, was strongly influenced by that piece because of his then later use of strong use of percussion and how rhythmic his music is, relying on percussion. So I think there's no question that piece made a profound impact on him as well.